Hello everyone, it's Gina from orchidandopal.com, and I am back today with the latest Beading School Academy bi-monthly subscription box, which has quickly become one of my favorite things to share every 2 months as they come out. And this is the fuchsia version. They have 2 different versions of this box. The turquoise one costs a little bit less and also contains less beads and components, and then this box, which is the fuchsia level, with the most box benefits and content. And something I have to emphasize about this box, it's so much more than just a subscription where you're getting materials sent to you that go along with a color scheme and palette, but you also get so many more benefits when you sign up and you follow along with Beading School Academy and all the extra things that they provide to go along with these contents to really get you inspired, including projects and tutorials to go along with your box materials, articles and educational materials about the theme, the ability, if you want to meet weekly during their live online Zoom room lunch break with other fellow Beading School students where you can bead together and share what you've made, ask questions, and have a good time. And also, Erica puts together a weekly live video class through Facebook. If you go to their Facebook page, it's called No One Has to Bead Alone. And during that live video class, there's also opportunities to use the components from the box that go along with the current bi-monthly theme. So tons of support and guidance and education, resources, so much thought and effort put into every single one of these boxes, and a lot of opportunities to collaborate with other fellow beaders like yourself. And those are only a few of the benefits. If you go to their website, which I have linked down below, you can see the list of everything that's included over and above the box and the contents for not only the fuchsia level, but also the turquoise level. And there's also benefits if you sign up for a longer period of time for your subscription. You can find out more about that on their website. And in the past, these boxes have sold out, so if you have been wanting to join in on this subscription, it looks like now might be a good time because they've started to open up new spots. So I'm dying to get into this now. It's called Thetis's Treasure, which I believe goes back to Greek mythology. So there will be more background on where that name and the theme comes from. And you can see the snapshot of something that is finished with a tutorial coming. Just from what we see on the top of the box, there will be more, of course, that is not shown. There's always multiple finished pieces and tutorials to go along with them for each of these boxes to make the most out of them. But that's a sneak peek at one item, and it looks like we're going to see some maybe ocean and sea inspired underwater treasure type inspiration to go along with this theme. So this box is packed full to the brim as usual, and look at all these contents that we have to check out. I cannot wait. We're going to dive into these, no pun intended, and take a look at these treasures close up one at a time. All right, I usually start with the crystals and other focals, but today I'm going to start with the seed beads because I think once we have those in front of us, you'll see the overall gist of the color palette that we have going on. And we'll start with our smallest size 15-0 Miyuki seed beads. These are the round shape, and on top we have the metallic light bronze, followed by the Duracoat galvanized seafoam. And then we have the crystal Labrador full coat, that aluminum colored bright metallic silver. For our larger size 11-0 round seed beads, we have the Miyuki Duracoat galvanized capri blue. There are also 2 bags of size 11-0 Miyuki Delica beads, are very uniform cylindrical seed beads that are great for bezeling and peyote and brick stitch and all those wonderful things. These are the Duracoat galvanized matte silver on the top. And then we have the shinier Duracoat galvanized capri blue in the Delica form as well. Another very unique seed bead shape, we have the Miyuki twists, and these are in that longer, maybe 12mm length, and the color is called matte opaque turquoise blue luster. So that's our well-rounded assortment of seed beads in the very high-quality Japanese Miyuki brand. So we have some very uniform and necessary colors and shapes to work with, as we're going to be able to put many things together from the contents that we're going to continue to see. And now I'll start bringing in some of the focals. We have a 25mm glass cabochon in this jade color. This is a stunning opaque glass cab with that domed top, and then you can see the overall shape of it there at the side and a look at the back. Getting into some of our Preciosa, we have a 16mm Rivoli in Bermuda blue. Perfect color combination for this theme with our deep ocean blue that comes together with some aqua and some teal and some sea foam all together in this one gorgeous Rivoli crystal that is cut beautifully and so reflective and a great overall quality, as you can see. Up next are 4 pieces of the 10mm Preciosa Chatons in Aqua Bohemica. And there's a look at all the different sides. We have more high quality crystals with this beautiful lighter shade of aqua with all of those perfect facets. These chatons have that flat area at the top with more of the faceting around the sides, and then they come to that point at the back. Here we have a 12 by 12mm Preciosa cushion cut stone in dark indigo. So this is our 4-sided shape with that deep blue sparkle that you can see as it's turned in some areas, just getting that subtle reflection off of the back of these very dark stones, which almost look black unless you see that inner sparkle that they have. And there's a look at the back. We follow that up with 6 of these 8mm Preciosa Chatons in blue zircon. Another stunning variety of crystals in this smaller size. Again, they have the pointed back. As you can see, I've got one turned on its side, and the front of these crystals giving us this sparkly bluish green to go right along with our palette. And all of these crystals were tucked nice and neat inside each of their baggies with the little tray dividers. In our next bag, we have 4 pieces of 6mm Preciosa sew-on rhinestones in blue zircon with the silver-colored settings. These, of course, have those 2 holes in the bottom crisscrossing through that setting, so you could use these to attach to a bead weaving project or an embroidery or something along those lines, where you're able to string these sparkly crystals right into your project. And last for our cabs, I believe, is this bag of 4 8mm Preciosa nacre pearl cabochons in light gray. We're going to see a lot of these grayish and silver neutrals to go along with the turquoise and aqua that we're going to also have popping up a lot in this palette. And these nacre pearls are the same type that I used to create this ring. So if you're curious about that, you can see that tutorial just a few videos back. There's that nacre pearl in lavender, and this was done just playing around with some other sizes of dagger beads that I had. This tutorial is called the Cherry Blossom Beaded Ring, so if you want to check that out, I'll try to also link that in the corner. It looks like we have 3 varieties of 2-hole beads this time around, starting with a bag of the Miyuki Tilas in opaque turquoise green matte AB. And because of that matte finish that these Tila beads have, that AB is a little bit more subtle. You can just see hints of that as you move these under the light. And these are an item that showed up in the project that we saw pictured on the very front of the box. There's those Tila beads right in there. We'll see those incorporated in this component with a tutorial to come for that. And by the way, there are those long seed beads. So those are going to be used in another application. So if you're somebody that wants to expand their knowledge of bead weaving, maybe you've got a few of the basics under your belt, but you want to learn more about how to use these different shapes and put all these different things together, this is a great box for you. Next, we have the 5x8mm gem duo beads with the silver splash over top of the opaque white. Love this combination. It always reminds me of sparkling snow. I know we're talking about ocean and sea-inspired things here, but these remind me of when the snow first comes down and you see it glistening and gleaming sometimes. But anyway, we have this diamond-like shape, the two holes that go through either side of these beads through those pointed ends. The gem duos have the more flat bottom and the beveled edges at the top. And our third bag of 2-hole beads contains the Miyuki half Tilas in crystal labrador full. Here we have our bright and shiny aluminum silver color in these half-sized Tila beads in that rectangular shape with the 2 holes running parallel through those beads. And just bringing back the picture one more time of this one, and I promise you there will be more pieces that are made from the contents, but I just happen to have this. You can see all 3 of those 2-hole shapes used in this particular component. There's the gem duos, half Tilas, the full Tilas, and even some of those full Tilas used at the base layer too. Next, we have a bag containing the Lacy tear beads in ocean green. I don't think I've ever seen this pressed shape, so that's really interesting for me personally. It's a perfect color combination for the box. You can see the wash also that brings out those dotted details. These are the same on both sides and have the hole that runs up and down through the length of the bead. And you can see at the side, they've got a little bit of dimension, but they're more on the flatter side instead of being more rounded for these teardrops. We have a few more 1-hole shapes that are different than a round or a fire polish that we're going to take a look at first. We've got the 6mm Bicone beads in aluminum silver. And here they are, a little bit more of a toned down metallic silver than that really bright shiny labrador coating. And these covering our 6mm bicones that we see have the more smoothed or rounded out edges than a sharper crystal bicone. And then we have a package containing the 6x10mm Preciosa Nacre Pearl Drops in light gray. So we have 6 of these included, and they match with our nacre pearl cabochons very well. These also have the hole that runs through the length of the drop, and they're more rounded at the base with the more narrow side at the top. Next, we have some 4mm Preciosa faceted crystal rounds in crystal labrador full. They are just beaming. Looks like we've got a 10-piece set of these included. You can see the faceting all around these reflective rounds. And then we'll get into our selection of fire polish beads, starting with our larger ones, the 4mm size. We've got a selection of 2 of these, and first up we have the glittery matte silver, which is predominantly that matte silver, but then parts of the beads have just a subtle AB-like iridescence that isn't as bright and shiny since these are the matte variety, but they show up in different spots. You can see some purple and some aqua and turquoise tones, in addition to some others that pop up randomly on these beads. And then next in the 4mm size, we have the light teal variety. These have a light greenish turquoise cast to that transparent glass with no additional coating on the fire polish, but letting some of that light through and also giving us some of that greenish tone in yet another shape and size. We also have 2 varieties in the 3mm fire polish. We have the gold bronze on the right and then the heavy metal jet turquoise on the left. Getting all these different sizes in these very usable shapes is another thing that make these subscriptions a dream to work with, because you have not only so many unique focals and components, but you have all these other practical items that you need to go along with those things to put pieces together. And they're already picked out and curated for you. The colors go together so well. So I can't say enough good things about this subscription. And then our smallest variety of fire polish are the 2mm size in Crystal Full Labrador. The true 2 varieties are perfectly cut into that 2mm size, so these are great to use in very specific areas of bead weaving where you need something that is exact down to the tiniest detail, and yet they still have those beautiful facets giving us those reflective areas. And here's a bag containing the 4mm Preciosa Bicone beads in Caribbean Sea. I'm just loving that color, more of that greenish, light teal tone in these sparkly crystal bicones without any additional finish. Perfectly faceted, high quality with those smooth round holes. And we also have 2 bags containing some of the Preciosa Nacre pearls. We've got them in the pearlescent peacock green in 2 sizes. We've got 2 of the 4mm, and then we have, looks like 5 in the 8mm size. I love working with the nacre pearls. They've got the layers of that material that makes them feel more like an actual pearl over top of the crystal interior. And then they have a smooth, high quality feel to the coating. They're not chipping or cracking or flaking. Color's intact. And this offers us a little bit of a deeper bluish green tone that goes along with the palette. And last but not least, for our beads, we have 3 bags containing some round 1-hole beads in the transparent pearl seafoam color. The 3mm size is on the top, and then we have a bag containing the 4mm size, and we have the matching color combination in the 6mm round size also. Here's a closer look at the 6mm size in that color combination, so you can see these up close and what the beads look like overall in all 3 of those different sizes. They have that bluish, greenish, turquoise color, letting some of the light through, and a slightly silvery luster finish on top. And this may be all the beads, but we're far from done. We've got a lot of great and unique components to go along with these beads in a combination of silver tones and gold tones, which is great because it's giving us some options. Usually we see just one metal color or another, but we've got a good assortment of things in both tones. First, we have these triangle drops in the golden setting, and they have the royal blue glass crystal. These are a triangular shape, as you can see, and they've got the deeper sapphire blue color with nothing on the other side of this crystal, so the light passes right through these. And then next we have this gorgeous 10 by 18mm zircon drop charm with the gold colored setting. And look, it's trapping that gorgeous sparkly clear crystal inside this wavy rounded shape, which kind of looks like a shell. That is a stunning piece with a loop at the top. Next, for our treasures, we have a 10 by 15mm wheel zircon charm with the gold tone setting. Look at all those sparkly little crystals brought together in that shape, sort of like a half wheel. And then a look at the back, very good quality, smooth, shiny, polished golden color. Another stunner, this is the 14 by 26mm wave zircon connector with the gold tone settings. And we've got 4 different round, very sparkly crystals located in this connector with that smooth, shiny, light golden color, and a peek at the back and even the open areas behind each of those crystals, giving more areas for the light to shine through. And then finally, for our golden colored findings, we have the set of 4 7x11mm rhombus crystal connectors with the transparent crystal rhinestone accent. You can see how they have the loop on both sides, and they're set up in that more of a diamond-like shape in a very dainty size. And now for our silver tone findings, we start out with a 6x13mm clasp garden. It says square antique silver colored box type of clasp. So you pinch that open, and Clasp Garden is a great high quality brand of these metallic components and clasps. So there's a look at that from all the different sides. It's got some details on the top with that more antique silver tone. There's also some 17x27mm petite oval filigree in antique silver. Lots of openings for us to bead something onto this component directly if you wanted to, and 2 of these perhaps to turn into a set of connectors or maybe a pair of earrings. And here's a look at the side of this piece. Not something I feel that I could bend easily, but thin and light enough to where it's not bulky. And there's a look at the back. We also have 3 pairs of earring findings. We have the silver colored earring hooks in the 10x16mm size with their swirly design. And then 2 types of post ear studs. We have a tiny 4mm size with a loop at the bottom, and then a larger 6mm size. These are called platinum colored. And our final item is a 15x23mm toggle clasp in the antique silver color, another very helpful finding that I'm sure will come in handy in this simple and swirly design. So that is everything for this Beading School Academy bi-monthly box in the Thetis' Treasure theme, with a sneak peek at some components to come, which will have corresponding tutorials, but lots more, of course, than that. And then our beautiful bead mat full of high quality, well-rounded beads and unique components and findings in 2 different tones of metals. I cannot wait to create something directly from the box. As usual, I always have fun and seem to find myself inspired to come up with something new based on the contents. And again, the value is here not only with the particular items that they send, but all the extra perks that go along with being a member of the subscription, all the educational aspects, the tutorials, the live workshops and Zoom meetings, articles and inspiration, and getting to see what so many other subscribers are able to create and see what they share from the contents, because the possibilities are endless and our minds all work a little bit differently, so it's fun to see what everybody comes up with. So if you'd like to try them out, once again, the link is directly below the video. It'll take you right to the page where you can find out all about the subscription levels and the different perks that come along with them and what you receive. There's no additional shipping on these subscription boxes, and they do ship worldwide. One other nice thing is that you can top up your subscription box, meaning that you can shop Beading School's online store throughout the rest of the 2 months while you await your next subscription, and you can opt to have your items shipped with your subscription at no additional cost to you. So I think they did another wonderful job, and I cannot recommend the subscription enough. Stay tuned for possibly a tutorial and or finished pieces to come from the contents that you see here. So if you haven't already, go ahead and make sure you subscribe. If you enjoyed taking a look at these contents up close and if it was helpful for you, also give the video a big thumbs up and feel free to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of these contents or the Beading School Academy boxes or anything else you'd like to say. And feel free to share the video wherever you like. That's all I have for now. Until next time, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. And as always, happy beading.